Okay, we're back at it again today with just a short video about how to learn to code. But it's not only about how to learn to code, it's really about how to learn anything. And if I could boil this advice down to one thing, it would be this phrase, do the real thing. Do the real thing is the name of a blog post from this guy, Scott Young, who is famous for a few different things. He has this book called Ultra Learning, and he's also partnered with Cal Newport on some courses. He taught himself the whole MIT computer science curriculum, and he's kind of considered an expert on learning. And in this blog post, he says that success basically boils down to one thing, and that is doing the real thing that you're trying to do and ignoring fake alternatives. So he gives the example of someone trying to learn French. And so the real thing would be speaking French. The fake alternatives that we tend to do are reading books, watching movies, using language learning apps. And those all have their place, but the number one thing that you can do if you want to learn a foreign language is to speak it. The same goes for code. If you want to learn to code, write code. If you want to learn Spanish, speak Spanish. My friend Henry summed this up pretty well with a recent tweet where he said, hey, you can learn anything that you want to, you just don't want to. And I think this is getting at something that's pretty core to us, which Steven Pressfield calls the resistance in his book, The War of Art. And basically how Pressfield defines the resistance is fear and self-doubt, all those things that are kind of holding us back, all those things that when we set out to do what we actually want to do, tend to push back against us. And so that's why I think that we need the advice to do the real thing, is because we have this resistance, and so the fake alternatives are way more tempting. A quick example on this from my own life. So I recently bought this, which is a MIDI keyboard, and I bought it in preparation for a class I'm doing with the musician Blanks, who also has a YouTube channel on monthly.com. Now, when I first got this, I was tempted to watch a bunch of YouTube videos about how it works, and I was tempted to do some reading up on the software that I'm using, which is called Logic Pro on the Mac. And I wanted to do all this learning, but something that Scott Young talks about in this article is that learning can be a form of procrastination. So knowing about this and knowing about the resistance, I decided to just go ahead and start by doing the real thing. So I plugged this in to my laptop, I opened up Logic Pro, and I tried to make a song. First thing, I didn't look anything up. And it was way more fun, first of all, because for me, the kind of incubation period where you're learning is really kind of boring, and you're preventing yourself from doing the thing that you wanted to do in the first place. So I'm trying to be aware of this and make changes in my own life as I learn new things and pursue my goals. I'm not perfect at it, but I'm trying to remind myself to do the real thing. And I'd encourage you, whether your goal is to learn to code or learn a foreign language or to get fit, start by doing the real thing. That's all for now. Thanks for watching to the end. If you enjoyed this, you might like the rest of my channel, which focuses on self-employment and software engineering, so consider subscribing. Thanks so much for being here. Remember, stay hungry, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next one.